China's military is being told to prepare for total war. The Chinese have told their military to get ready for a total war scenario when testing and evaluating the performance of new weapons. This is according to scientists that are involved in a recent project that has been posted by the South China Morning Post. Chinese military conjectures are saying that a world war scenario or an all out conflict must be prepared for. They're getting ready for the assessment of their weapons types, focusing mostly on combat capabilities in regional conflicts, but the PLA is now being factored in for a total war scenario. The Chinese government has recently told them that they must get ready to fight America and American shorelines. This comes as the Chinese and the USA have reached their most conflicted point in decades. Total war, of course, means that all available resources and efforts of a country are being mobilized toward winning the war. It involves not only the military, but also the civilian population, as well as the economy. This occurred back in World War I and World War II. This is the latest evaluation of Chinese warships. Navy scientists are designing new doomsday scenarios that they're calling Doomsday Z. But in Doomsday Z, there is a clash of strategic willpower. The regional conflict will escalate to total war, says the team led by researcher Fang Kengxin of Unit 91404 in the Chinese People's Liberation Army. Fang's unit is responsible for the sea testing of some of China's most powerful and newest weapons types. The Z war scenario was declassified for the first time in history in a new peer-reviewed paper that was published in the Chinese Journal of Ship Research earlier this month. Earlier in June. Fang and his colleagues did not name any country in particular in the paper, but the enemy hardware that appeared in the paper, such as new Burke-class destroyer types, belong only to the U.S. Navy and U.S. allies. They were tagged as Blue Alliance. A quote says, "If I would place the scale of an imminent war on a scale of 1 to 10, I would place the situation right now at a 7. That's Rodrigo Duterte. He's the former president of the Philippines, a close U.S. ally. That was in a radio show. More Chinese military researchers are proposing bringing the war to the U.S. homeland, putting missiles on U.S. soil. Now, why aren't you hearing about this across the USA, that China is preparing to maybe attack the U.S. shore? Cutting-edge weapons such as missiles that are hypersonic, nuclear-powered torpedoes that can penetrate U.S. defense networks are being prepared in this World War Z or total war scenario.
This is Dabu 7, and the invasion continues at the southern border. Is now thousands of Chinese saboteurs are definitely inside of America, some of them with the help of the Biden administration. And we know that busloads are being sent to these sanctuary cities, probably to one near you. One of the most recent being sent to Los Angeles, here as we're getting word that these Chinese migrants are entering the U.S. on foot at the southern border, and that they're trekking through the jungle in Central America through a large stretch just to get here. They're also not all just poor individuals. Some of these are working class individuals that are able to pay these individuals in Mexico, the cartel members, some $35,000 US per head to help them get here. And that's just in some instances. Right now, they're saying that these military-aged men are showing up in groups of 10 to 15, crossing the border, and many of them just disappearing into the country. We're also finding out that Illinois is to issue these standardized driver's license to illegal immigrants, to where they're going to be able to use these IDs for around 4 years in this country to do all types of things that the Dems are going to allow them to do. One is going to be to vote if they get their way with illegal migrants. We also have the Biden administration planning to move migrant teenagers into a North Carolina boarding school Many people down there finding out about this are alarmed and are like, what is going on? Well, I warned people it's probably going to take until they're coming to a town near you before people get up off their tail and voice any concern. What's happening in on all types of towns and cities across the United States. And the warnings are being put out there by several individuals that it's not stopping. This is literally an invasion. And as one group is putting it here, they know that many of these individuals coming into our country are connected to the PLA. They are military trained. In some of these places they have found where they were drinking chicken's blood, and they say that this is a right to PLA soldiers and how they celebrate and what they do. They know that they're in here. They say that they're plotting to launch an attack because, as the ancient Chinese philosophy taught, to take your enemy by surprise is one of the best ways to conduct war. So be prepared, folks. This, of course, isn't without the helping hand of the Biden administration.